What's up, guys? I'm Caleb with BAKEROVERLAND, and today we're going to be discussing the ICECO APL 55 quart 12 volt dual zone refrigerator. In this review, I'm breaking all the rules. Okay, so clearly you can see that this has been on the truck for a little while, and we're gonna go back in time here for a second, actually unbox this fridge. I wanted to run this for a bit before I did the review. I really feel like you gotta do that in order to do a good review. So this has been on here for a while, and I'm gonna come back here, present day, give you my final thoughts at the end. But first, let's jump back in time, go to the garage, unbox this thing, and do the initial impressions. So what do I mean by breaking the rules? Well, the fact is I was not in the market for a refrigerator. I currently have two. One is on my truck. It's the Set Power. I've done a review of that fridge, and if you want to check that out, I'll put a link to that. I love that fridge. It's great. It's essentially this same fridge. It's 60 quarts instead of 55, slightly larger, dual zone, 12 volt, and I have very few, if any, complaints about that fridge. It lives full time on the back of my truck, exposed to the elements. I've had zero issues so far. So when ICECO reached out to me, said they wanted to send this, initially I ghosted them because I was just like, well, I don't need another refrigerator. And then a few weeks later, they sent me another email with a link to this model, and I realized this is essentially the same model as what I have on my truck. I couldn't really see what the difference was, except for one minor thing. This fridge cost twice as much as the Set Power. So I decided I'm going to agree to this collaboration. Have them send me this fridge, and we're going to see if this is actually worth $400 more than that one. So when I say I'm breaking all the YouTube rules, what I mean is whatever I find, if the value's there, I'm going to tell you. But if it's not, I'm going to tell you. And if it pisses off ICECO, it pisses off ICECO. Because, you know, just looking at the spec sheets, I don't see the value. So let's get into it and see if it's there. All right, trusty Pruitt Knives of Valor knife. I'm doing this in the middle of the day in my garage, by the way, so I know the lighting's a little funky, but we're gonna roll with it. All right, big foam piece. I mean, there's the fridge right there, right after you do that. So let's do this. I'm gonna transfer this to the floor. Oh wait, I always forget they do this. Yeah, see, my Set Power did this too. I dig that. It's all nice and clean in here. Plastic off. This looks nice. Like it looks like a premium product. Now, it's still a refrigerator, so if the look is the only reason they're charging double, then it's not worth it. We've got some of that silica gel stuff. Inside the fridge, it looks like this is gonna be our cables and our cords. Right off the bat, I like the way this closes. That's just a nice touch. The fact that you can let this go. My Set Power doesn't do that. Still not worth $400, but I do like that. Latches are metal, feel really nice and sturdy. Handle is metal. Yeah, everything on here appears to be, or at least all the hardware appears to be metal. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the box of what I'm assuming are our cables. All right, so we got a user manual, and it looks like it's got a little additional drain plug in it. I think that's what that is. So I'm starting to see a little bit of where this extra money is going. So these are replacement latches for the front of the refrigerator. These are only, you know, if these were to break, and they are, they're aluminum. So the fact that they shipped it with that is pretty cool. These are some extra corner plates to protect the corners. Again, you don't need these things, but they're just thinking future-proofing it, and you do start to see a little bit of that value coming into play when you add all this extra stuff. A perfect example is I had one of the handles when I was installing the set power on my truck actually break. It was my fault. It had nothing to do with set power. I put it on the wrong way, and they were plastic handles, and it stripped it, and I had to get another one. Now, set power was great. Sent me another plastic handle, didn't charge me anything for it, so that was cool of them, but it would have been nice if it was just included in there. All right, so we have our main plug here for the fridge. This is your 12-volt deal. This is the type that I use in my truck currently because I'm running into a Anker C1000. It's kind of like the Jackery. And then here's your traditional 120 plug. And that is all that is included in that box. He shoots. We're gonna say he scores because y'all didn't see that. In this box, they sent me a cover. Let's go ahead and open this real quick because I do like having the cover on my set power since it lives on the truck full time. And, you know, so I told them whenever they offered this, I said, hey, you know, I'd be happy to test it out, make a review video, but shoot me the cover. And they sent it in gray. Guys, I asked for black. Black. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. That's the first ding against you, ICECO, is now I gotta put a gray bag on my fridge. Oh well, we'll make it work. Bag looks fine, looks like a fridge bag. Nothing special. Okay, so I think what we should do is go ahead and, sorry, I was just getting a text from my buddy Benji who said he's ready to plan a trip. And I gotta tell you, that makes me want to stop this review right now and go. That sounds fun. But we're gonna finish the review, then we'll go. So something that I really like is they put these USB ports right here on the front, which are covered by these weatherproof covers. Okay, so you can see on the back side, we have more USB ports and we have our DC, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run DC over to my power. But that's super cool that you have that option on both ends. All right, it's plugged up, powered up, running. Now I want to show you guys some things that I already really like about this and some things that I already don't like. I'm gonna start with the negative first. Check this out. This comes open and I let go. Doesn't stay open. I use a tilt slide, obviously, and so I like that it doesn't slam, that it kind of slowly closes itself, but I wish there was a point that you could go, like if it went all the way, it would lock or something in case you need to keep it open while you're getting stuff in and out. My other one did that, this one doesn't. Something I don't like. Another little minor thing that I don't love in this cover is that the Velcro sticks every time, so you're gonna have to tear it open every time that you wanna open it. Not a huge deal, but just one little minor complaint. We have a light. All the controls are pretty straightforward. You hit your setting to control your individual zones. You can go up or down. You can go fast, cool, or eco. And then it has settings for Bluetooth. Bluetooth, okay, so this is one area where it definitely differentiates itself. Much like the Anker C1000, this one has an app. It's Bluetooth enabled, and it's, you know, not necessary, but kind of cool. It's one of those things that you would expect at this price point, that they have done some additional work. You can see your zone temperatures and you can control it. You can turn it on and off. So maybe if you're up in your tent, you're wanting to reserve some battery, you could, you know, make some adjustments or shut it off if it was cool outside. Final thoughts on this. So I've been running it, like I said earlier in the video, for several days now. This is my first trip with it here at the Big Iron Overland Rally. And so what I did for this trip is I actually brought two fridges. One is in the back seat of my truck being powered off of a Jackery 1000. And then this is obviously in the back of my truck being powered off an Anchor C1000. Both 1,000-watt batteries. Now, this is not a apples to apples comparison. Obviously, the Jackery, it's an older battery, and the Anchor is a new battery. This one is more ventilated, being on the outside of my truck, versus the other one is inside of my truck. So, not apples to apples, but I wanted to just take these out because you can read like power draw specs, but until you use this in a real world like application, it's hard to gauge, what the truth is. So, been out here now for a couple days, and here's what I can tell you. The set power is already dead. Now, again, not apples to apples, using an older battery, but I believe it's clearly drawing more power and or not as well insulated as the ICECO fridge. So it's causing it to use a little more juice. So that one's already dead in the truck. This one on the C1000, it's still got like, I believe last time I checked was 60-something% battery. So clearly from a power and insulation usage, this one is doing a little bit better. In terms of the app, I haven't used it on this trip. I don't really know if that adds a lot of value for me personally, but that might matter to you. Extra hardware, obviously nothing's broken. If it did break this quick, that would be a point of concern. So, you kind of got to just decide what your budget is and start. This one costs twice the amount of the set power. I mean, you could buy 2 of those fridges for what you pay for this one. So you just got to decide, if you're planning on doing some pretty technical wheeling, your fridge is going to be exposed to elements, you need something a little bit more high quality, maybe it's worth starting with the higher priced, more premium fridge. For me personally, I'd start with the set power. Save the money, get that thing, and run it until it dies. Or maybe it never dies, and you just never spend the extra money. You can put it into something else. So personally, I would start there, and then kind of see how it goes. As it develops over time, maybe eventually you decide you want something a little more premium, and then at that time, make the switch. But again, every budget is different, every use case is different. You do what is best for you. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys checking out this review. All of our members, throw your names up right here. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. And if you want to watch another product review video on my channel, you can check out this video right here, or this one right here. But most importantly, remember, the more you camp, the less deer the aliens abduct.